will our theoretical knowledge become realized knowledge? You see, coming from the stage of realized knowledge, theoretical knowledge, jnana, to the stage of practical realized knowledge, to the state of vijnana, is not like switching on a bulb. I walked into the room, everything was dark, I switched on I flipped the switch, immediately light came on. It is not like that. One sudden day, I'll wake up, I'm a realized soul. It doesn't happen like that. All you can hear all this in bogus sadhus will tell you all these kind of stories. One sadhu went, one aspiring devotee or aspiring spiritualist, he went to a guru and he offered his obeisance to him. Guru touched him on the head and there was an electric shock and the guru fell down and the disciple also fell down. He was unconscious. Then he woke up, he was realized. And the guru told him, now I have lost everything, I have given up everything to you. Now you are the next guru, next acharya. All bogus. Nice to make a movie, but in reality, in real life, nothing like this ever happens. The going from theoretical knowledge to practical realized knowledge, going from jnana to vijnana, is an ongoing process. It takes time and it goes slowly in stages. Just like, suppose you want to learn swimming. Now, if you want to learn swimming, first you learn the theory, how the swimming happens, how you can float your body and all those kind of things. Then you go to a swimming pool and you take an instructor and then you start learning slowly. You start beating your hands, legs. Initially, they will give you one life, kind of a rubber tube or something with which they will make you try to learn swimming. Slowly, you will be able to start swimming on your own. It doesn't happen, 5 days you are going to the swimming pool, you are struggling. 6th day you went, you became an expert swimmer. It doesn't happen like that, right? It takes time. Over a period of time it happens. Just like I'll give you another example. In my childhood, I actually witnessed this in Bangalore. We were in Bangalore and some friends of mine and I, we were standing and chatting on the ground floor of the house, on the compound wall. And in Bangalore, those days, narrow roads, we used to live in a lower middle class kind of neighborhood. So it was a narrow gully. And those days, it was the drainage system for the stormwater drain, for the rainwater, used to be not like today. Today, the government puts the stormwater drains and then covers with RCC slab. You cannot see it openly. Those days, it used to be small gutters made with this chapdi-kal, they say, granite stone. Like you'll go and see in temples, you'll find on the floors, that kind of granite stones. With that, one small trench will be made, running on both sides of the road. That will be running through. It will not be dirty or anything. Whenever it rains, water will go through that. The sewage system will be separate. That used to be underground. This was only for the rainwater. Now, that is on the edge of the road, and then there is the road, and both sides of the road this drain is there, and then our houses, we cross those drains and come into our compounds of the houses. We were standing inside the compound wall and we were talking. And on the road, one small boy and one little bigger boy, both of them were the small boy was trying to learn how to cycle. He had got this big cycle, those hero cycles those days used to be there. And they used to do scissor. I don't know whether all of you know that. So that's the way, as small children, we would learn cycling, and then when we grow a little taller, we'll start sitting on the seat and then driving. Now, the small boy was trying to learn how to cycle, and this big boy was teaching him. And how he would make him sit on that, and then he will hold the carrier. There used to be a carrier behind, and he will run along with that. And the small boy will be pedaling. So they were going up and down like this, and we were standing and talking. 2 times, 3 times, this big boy is running behind, catching that carrier and going up and down. Then finally, after 2-3 times, big fellow naturally became tired. How long he will also run. So he was catching that carrier and holding the cycle, and he told the small boy, now you start pedaling. He pedaled and he left the cycle. That cycle straight went to the side, and next moment the boy was lying inside the gutter and facing up, and he was crying and wailing. This big boy walks up, next to him. And we are all watching, we thought, oh my God, this boy, poor fellow, small boy has fallen into the trench. We were all concerned whether he is injured or something. The big boy walked up. We thought he will give his hand and pull him up or something like that. And naturally, if somebody is crying, we will try to pacify them and try to make them stop crying and all that. No. This boy was a little different. He walks up to him. He was very tired. So he didn't extend his hand and all. He looked at him very, uninterestedly. This small kid is wailing. He is not interested. Looked at him and he said, get up, get up. You have to fall. Yeah, only if you fall, you will learn how to cycle. Then the small boy also stopped crying, got up. Then he continued. So you see, if you have to learn cycling, you have to fall down. Has anybody learned cycling without falling down? So you don't become an expert cyclist overnight, right? You will take time, slowly, you will pick up. And then first, initially, you will fall down, you will be inexpert, and many times you will have accidents, you will go and fall somewhere. All these kind of things will happen. Instead of holding the brake, you will start pedaling. Instead of pedaling, you will apply the brake. All these things will happen. As you go on practicing, what will happen? You will become more and more expert. Then finally, one day you will start doing wheelies, stunts, everything you can do. Right? This is how you go from stage of theoretical knowledge to practical knowledge. Similarly, in spiritual life also, we learn theory in the beginning. I am not the body, I am spirit, soul. Now, on the stage of Vijnana, if I am totally self-realized, I am not the body, I am spirit, soul, what is the symptom? I will be totally disinterested in sense gratification. Sense gratification holds no attraction for me. That is the stage of being on the stage of Vijnana, or realize the soul that I am not the body. Am I right? Now what happens is, you are right that you may not be right now on that realized position. I am also not a realized soul. But if you see, you have given up coffee and tea, you have given up onion and garlic, you have given up going with friends and chai sutta bar, whatever that is. You have stopped visiting all those things, right? You have given up all those things, going with a friend to watch some movie or some cricket match or something. You are sitting here and listening to philosophical discussion. To that extent, you have become realized. If there was no vairagya in your heart, if there was no understanding in your heart that you are not the body, you are spirit, soul, you couldn't be doing all these things. You couldn't have given up coffee and tea. You couldn't have given up intoxication. You couldn't have given up illicit sex. You couldn't have given up going to all these movies and hanging around with friends and all these things. You wouldn't be sitting here hearing philosophy. You go and tell your friends who are not into Krishna consciousness, come yaar, good Prabhu is there, good philosophy class he will give. They will have no interest. They cannot come and sit here. You make them come and sit here, 1 minute, 2 minutes, they'll start getting restless. They'll start looking here, there, somehow slowly they'll start walk out and go out. Right? Because they don't have the taste. Why? Because there is no realization that they are not the body, they are the spirit, soul. You have realized to some extent, therefore you are able to tolerate and you are able to sit here. Because Krishna has said, Agama, Apainos, Kams, Texas, Bharata, summer and winter will go. Like that, happiness and distress will come and go in our life. Like this, happiness came in the form of prasadam few minutes before. Now distress has come in the form of Prabhu's class. So this will also go. No problem, let me tolerate. Right? So therefore, all of you are sitting here. So you see, you have all realized that, happiness and distress will come and go. So therefore, you are able to tolerate and sit here. To that extent, you are realized. Jokes apart, in reality, I am talking reality, factually, all of you have experienced and are experiencing some amount of vairagya in your life already. To that extent, you are realized. So, like a person who is initially learning cycling, he may be able to go a little distance on his own and then he will fall down. Like that, we also, when we practice Krishna consciousness, we will follow for a few days, then some mistake will happen, we will break some regulative principle. Then again we will get up, again we will walk. So slowly we will fall, walk. After some time we will become experts in walking, we will no more fall down. And like this, the realization will keep growing as we go forward in our spiritual life. In reality, there is no end to the realization. There is no one point which you reach, you can say, this is it, this is the end of self-realization, there is no more, nothing more to go forward to. That date will never come in bhakti. Why? Because you will realize that you are a pure devotee, you will realize your eternal constitutional position, you will go back to the spiritual world, and when you go back to the spiritual world, in your relationship with Krishna, Nama Nama Rasa, every day you are experiencing newer and newer rasa, newer and newer discoveries you are making in your relationship with Krishna. So there is no end to increasing your realization, self-realization of your relationship with Krishna and the greatness of Krishna and the sweetness of Krishna. Because Krishna is unlimited, His sweetness and greatness is unlimited. Today I may know to a certain extent about Krishna's sweetness and greatness. Tomorrow that understanding will increase further. There is no end to self-realization. That is the beauty in bhakti. You can eternally go on increasing your self-realization. So, if we look at ourselves, how I was before I came into Krishna consciousness and how I am today, you will see a big difference in your life. Your priorities in life, your values in life, your lifestyle, your practices, your likes, dislikes, big sea change would have come in your life. And you note down in somewhere, today, this is the stage at which you are in. 1 year later, you look back and see, you continue in Krishna consciousness. 1 year later, you look back and you see, where am I? You would have made progress. This means realization is going on increasing. Theoretical knowledge is transforming into realization. Well, last year, I was chanting 4 rounds. Today, I am chanting 1 year later, 8 rounds. I have progressed. That means, to that extent, theoretical knowledge has transformed into realized knowledge. So, it is an ongoing process. We simply keep executing devotional service. Krishna and Prabhupada, our Guru Maharaj Prabhupada, the more and more they become pleased with our devotional service, they will keep enlightening us more and more with realizations from within our heart. Okay?